Virgo, welcome to your 2017 Astrological overview. This is Raina, and so I was making like movie maker videos using MP3 audios, which some of you may not know, but you cannot upload to YouTube for whatever reason, which kind of sucks because it would be nice to be able to just make slideshows with audio. But you can't do that, so I'm going to record in an MP4 format, but I wanted to have some kind of a nice backdrop. I see, I think this is probably pretty weird and dark and stuff. I am going to pick one of my new Keepers of the Light Oracle cards for you, maybe as a focus card, but maybe also for symbolism for 2017. So that may act as a, focal point for you if it feels kind of like a little bit barren to just have this salt lamp in the forefront. And I'm going to tell you about the year. Let me do this right now and pick one of my oracle cards for you. Cut the deck. Okay, Isis. Magic manifesting. Oh, cool. And it's interesting too because you do have Jupiter in your second house. Oh, there. See, that's much more colorful. So in 2017, you have Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, in the second house of earned income until October. So this is a great time for you to really broaden the money that you earn, and you might get opportunities to do just that. Let me see what I have written down here or typed out for you. I just want to talk about some of the longer term transits. Neptune is in your 7th house. It has been there for several years. It's actually going to be there until I think it's like 2025 maybe even. So it's a long time. And the 7th house is the house of committed partnership. So if you have gotten married in the last few years, you may have felt a sense of confusion. You may have felt like you married a stranger, like you don't know who that person is. Chiron is also in this house. So there may be some kind of a karmic connection. And this may not have happened yet for you. This may be something in the years to come when you still have this transit happening. So just always keep that in mind, because if you feel like uncharacteristically unsure of yourself when it comes to committing to someone, that is that Piscean influence with the Neptunian kind of obscuring things, making things unreal. Chiron dredges up or kind of triggers feelings of pain surrounding commitment. And this could be very karmic, in other words, this could be coming from even another lifetime. Maybe it's a habitual pattern. And the reason I bring up these things is because sometimes people get so identified with the pain that they don't realize that this too shall pass, and that these things are happening for a reason, that they're for your highest good. It's very hard to believe that when you experience certain, in some cases betrayals, in some cases losses, or definitely just feeling of deception. But you know what? I think that this could be marrying your soulmate too, because Neptune connects with the spiritual. So that could definitely be what's happening as well. And, because Chiron is there, you can heal from it. So, it's all good. Let's put it that way. Now, speaking of light and fluffy transits, Pluto is in Capricorn, has been since what, 2008. So think back to 2008 when it entered your 5th house of romance. So you've really had the 1-2 punch. Some of these signs really have had kind of like rough go of things when it comes to just love as well as commitment. Pluto in the 5th house could, though, mean that you meet somebody who really transforms your life in the most dramatic way possible. So it definitely doesn't have to be a bad thing. Now, this person could be a Scorpio, because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, as well as Mars, but, you know, I think most associated with Pluto. And there is that healing and transformative energy that comes from Pluto that restructures things, regenerates things, demolishes things, and brings it back up. It could also have to do with any artists in the crowd. You know, you could create powerful works of art with this transit. And it can be, you know, quite wonderful, but so moving for other people. So, yeah, you know, so this is something that started in 2008. And so you may have already experienced a relationship that was very important to you. But I feel, again, that this could be something that changes your life. And it doesn't have to be in 2017, by the way, because it is going to continue until about 2023. Uranus is in your 8th house, I believe until 2019, in Aries. So what does Uranus in the 8th house mean? So it can mean that one day, so in the next couple of years, you could get an inheritance out of the blue, because that's how Uranus rolls, that just completely changes your life. And I mean that in a good sense. Uranus is a planet that is considered erratic, unpredictable. And the 8th house is the house of other people's money. So it can be that all of a sudden you wind up, maybe you even get a gift. It doesn't have to be an inheritance from somebody. And it's just, you never expected it in a million years. And it totally, you know, shifts, you know, your direction in life because of this. Now, the other themes of the 8th house are sex and death. You could definitely, and when I say death too, you could also extend that. It's metaphysics, the occult. And Uranus can be psychic, like telepathic, thoughts. So some of you may start feeling that you are very psychic and that you can really hook into that. Some of you may be interested in metaphysical study, and this is kind of a new thing for you, where you're just like, you know, endlessly curious about the mysteries of the universe. And so you're like almost insatiable with that. And the wilder and, you know, weirder and wilder, the better, because Uranus likes to shock people. So any conspiracy theory, any kind of like, Bigfoot, you know, it was found on Venus, you know, something, you know, wacky. You could join a metaphysical group that is very, like the Urantia Society. The Lemurian, there's a Lemurian society. Anything that's like offbeat, that might be what interests you. The other thing, and remember, Virgo, you are, in the major arcana, you are the Hermit card in number 9. And this connects with looking within. So you have that part of you. It's like almost like the clergy, you know, the people that keep themselves apart from the world. You know, there's definite purity associated with Virgo, like nuns and priests. But also, speaking of nuns and priests, no, I mean, I was going to talk about sex, which is like kind of quite a change of pace. But in that 8th house, Uranus in the 8th house can mean that you become a lot more, I was going to say a bohemian, but somebody who says, you know what, I believe in I believe in open relationships. I don't want to be tied down to monogamy. And I'm going to explore that. And some people may get into that kind of a phase that are Virgos. Saturn is in Sagittarius until December of 2017. This is going to be in your 4th house of home and family. So you may have more responsibilities with your family of origin. You may have an elderly parent that you have to take care of. You may have something associated with a house. Maybe you have bought a house recently, and now Saturn can indicate the heavy responsibilities associated with it. So you may have, maybe you've bitten off more than you can chew, which is hard for me to believe. Most Virgos are very simple in their lifestyle choices. But if you have, a lot of Leo, and maybe you kind of went overboard and now you have a big mortgage and you feel like you're tied down to this. But it's not necessarily negative. It's just that you're feeling very serious about what, or maybe it's just like you want to pay down a mortgage and you're going to work extra hard because you're going to pay extra mortgage so you can get rid of it sooner. As I said to you before, Jupiter is going to be in your earned income sector, could expand your income streams and the money that you make in general. And then it goes into your 3rd house, which also happens to be ruled by Mercury, the natural house of Gemini, the house of the mind. It goes there, when does it go there? I think it's on the 11th of October. So, close to the end of the year. And so that is the house of learning. It's a house of, definitely of communication. So anything internet-based, because that's our, prime way of communicating these days, that could be featured. It could benefit you to have a blog or to have a YouTube channel or to have, to be a vlogger, a writer, anything like that. And some Virgos, because you are ruled by Mercury, you may be a voracious reader, actually. So you may be a writer as well. Anything like that. You may be a teacher, and this may be the time when you really come into your own in that department. Your life is expanded by your mind and your communication at the end of 2017. So, Venus goes into your sign on the 20th of September, which just so happens to be your new moon, okay? This is at a later degree of Virgo, so you have to wait until almost the end of the sign to experience your new moon and to experience your Venus going into your sign, but it's significant that it is happening on the same day. So that could be a new, like a launching period. Not only is it your solar return, but it's a great time for you to, promote yourself in whatever it is that you're doing at the time. Because Venus in the 1st house can give you a lot of charm. It can give you a lot of charisma. And, Virgos, you need all the charisma you can get. And I don't mean that in an insulting way. I have a moon in Virgo myself, and I definitely have that part of me. Virgo is almost kind of like shy, very retiring, and of course, mileage may vary. If you have like Aries or Leo or something like that, you may be a lot more outgoing. But typically, Virgos like to work behind the scenes. They're not show-offy like the sign right before you, Leo. And so you're going to be more likely to, because you don't have that much of an ego, generally speaking. So you don't need to be the center of attention. You would rather kind of be the brains behind the outfit, the operation. And so, and yet there may be some reason why you're in the spotlight. And, you know, it can, and it's also kind of like a new period for you because your new moon is happening on the same day. So that you know, you should definitely think of that when you're considering, you know, the things, you know, the good times of the year. Now, let me see, because I'm sure there's something else I wanted to mention. Okay, let me see 1 second here. I wanted to mention the new moon in Libra because that's around the time that Virgo, that Jupiter goes into Scorpio, which, you know, is your third house. So when it's still in Libra in October, in that first half of October, I wanted to see if there was going to be a full moon, a new moon there. Okay, well, the new moon is actually happening on the 19th of October, and this is in your second house of earned income. I just wanted to bring that up because that may have, you know, some bearing on, you know, it's going to be like maybe an expansion in your money. Now, of course, you've had Jupiter in that second house all year. And then the other thing too is what's happening in your career sector. So for you, this is going to be, now is it that it's going to be Gemini? It's got to be, I'm sure. Because then, yeah, you got Cancer and then you got Leo. So in the 10th house, I would actually say that right now, a couple of weeks ago, you had a full moon on the 13th in your 10th house. So that may have been a time when you were kind of really, you know, front and center, and everyone was able to recognize you as a success. I mean, the 10th house is at the top of the chart, so it really kind of makes the person prominent. You're going to have another full moon in this sector. Now, this is happening on December 3rd of 2017, and so this is another chance for you to shine. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like you have a lot of good things going on, especially with money and with writing, Virgo. So I hope you enjoy this. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great year. Bye.